Hi folks, so the question we have in front of us here is a question based on a CAO logo. It says a monogram is a logo that uses only text to convey a message. So we can see obviously the CAO logo here. It says question 1, shown in the figure below is a drawing of the CAO monogram. Reproduce the drawing full size on an A3 sheet. Use construction lines to build up your drawing and don't forget to include a title block. Okay, so don't worry about the title block, but what we are going to focus on here is using construction lines and then going over the drawing in detail in darker lines. Okay, so first of all, when we're starting off any one of these questions, we have to look at the general shape, and we can see here that the overall height of the structure is 170 millimeters high, okay, which would be 17 centimeters, and the overall length of it is 240 millimeters long from this corner to this corner, which would be 24 centimeters. And then we can see here there's gaps then. So the gap from this line to this line is 15 millimeters, and then it's 20, 20, 20, 15, 20, 20, 20, 15, 20, 20, 20, and then the last one of 15. So kind of for the letters parts of it, where you have the C, the A and the O, they're all 20s, and then the gaps between the letters and then obviously the side walls then are 15s. And then we've obviously got various heights then, 15, 15, 45 and so on. And we're going to have to use all of that to basically help us draw it out. Okay, so starting off this question, we will create an overall rectangle of 240 by 170 and then putting in our various measurements. So I'm going to start with that there now. So for the purpose of this video, my construction lines are going to be in red, and I'm going to use a marker then to go over them in detail, which is the heavy. In your case, obviously you're going to be using a pencil, or you're going to do your construction lines lightly with a 2H pencil and then go over them darker then with either the 2H or AB. Okay, so starting off there, I'm going to create my rectangle that is 240 long by 170 high, starting off roughly in the bottom left of my sheet, okay, or in the center of your page, and creating a construction line. So as you can see there now, I have created my rectangle shape, okay, that's 240 by 170. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in the various measurements along the length here, the 240, and then I will put in the measurements along the height. Okay, so I'll put those in now. Okay, as you can see, I have put in all my length measurements down along here and all my various height measurements here. You've probably seen there in the video that I just moved up T-square. Okay, if you're ever struggling just with the maths of it, okay, so I had 15, 15, and then I had a distance of 45. After that then I kind of moved it up like that, and I just started my 0 again, okay, just in case your maths, if you ever think you're going to go wrong, you can always move up to 0 again, okay, just to make life a bit easier for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to speed up the video once again, and I'm going to put in all of my construction lines going up the page, the vertical lines, and then the horizontal lines in after, starting off with my vertical lines on. Okay. Okay, so as we can see there, I have put in some various construction lines. I put in all the vertical ones, and I just put in the bottom, okay, outside of the box, but the top mark here and the bottom mark here, I put in those two, okay, because that's essentially, if we look back at our drawing, that is essentially where the top of the letters are finishing, or the top of the letters are and the bottom of the letters are. So they're fitting within this space inside it. So what I could do now, just while I'm waiting, okay, is I could actually just heavy in the frame, just to give myself a little bit of clarity. You can always be working on building up the structure as you're going along. So as you see there, we have the outside structure done, and what we have to do is we have to heavy in the detail on the inside of it. So starting off now, I'm actually going to work with the C, okay? Or I'll actually do the O first of all, actually. The O is probably the easiest one. So the O is actually this one over here. It's going to fit inside in this space here, starting here to here. So Might actually heavy in the outside of it first. So there's the outside of it heavied in. Now what I have to do is I actually have to find the points, okay, to make the inside kind of rectangle to make the shape of the O. And that literally comes from this point here. So it's the next measurement up, which was 15. So I can measure that across, do a line across like that. Didn't have to do the line the whole way, just to show you what I could have done up here. Could have just marked it there like that as well. Okay, so you could either, because remember this is a construction line, okay, so it is a light line. And there we have it. That's our O on the inside. So just heavy that in. Remember, neatness of drawing. Nice and accurate. So there is our O. Now what we're going to focus on is the C before we get on to the A. So the C is based off this one here, which is the next measurement up, which is the 45. So from here I was up another 45 to this distance here. So I'm going to bring that all the way across. Okay, and just checking then, yeah, it was just the next one up, which was the 15. So you can see here I just did that bit there. Okay, if I wanted, I might actually bring it the whole way across. Okay, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to heavy in that C now. Just actually project this across as well, and then finally get that across there. And you'll actually see the C now taking shape in just a second. So it's just about heavying in what's important. So I'm just going to heavy in all my horizontal lines first. And now I'll heavy in my vertical lines. Good gap there, just to make the C. I'm just going to check back to the sheet just to make sure I'm accurate there. I think I am. I'm happy with that. Now what we have to do is we just have to make the A. And I have one last measurement here that I need to use, which is this one here. I actually only need it for that little part there. Okay, so once again, going to heavy in my horizontal lines. So I know that's heavy. I know this is heavy. This bit here is heavy. Then it's this bit here. This bit. This bit. And this bit. Okay. Now, you mightn't be able to do it as quick as I just did it there. I just know this question as I've done it many times. So always take your time, look at the question in front of you and relate to it, just to make sure you're not making any mistake. Okay, so there you have it. There is the CAO logo completed, okay, where we have the C here, and then the A, which is probably the trickiest one, and then the O, which was the easiest one. The C was kind of obviously in the middle, so when this was the hardest, this was the easiest, this is the one that was in the middle. Okay, and you can see here that the various measurements obviously that I did in my vertical heights, you can see the insides of every letter had the same kind of coming from the same height here. Okay, the same with up here. Then these little section here came from these heights over here. I had a point here that I just used as a guide to find that there. You can see here I could have transferred it across. So you can see there the difference in the video, okay, between my construction lines and my finishing lines. As I said, obviously you're using a pencil, so please work on your weight of line, which is light lines and heavy lines then for finishing. Okay. Once again, hope you found that helpful, guys. That's the question complete.